Hello and welcome back to Stay Bitching, where two stay bitches bitch about stay bitches bitching about other stay bitches most likely. My name, per usual, is Lullaby B, the meta skizverse meta monarch of metas.
Multiverse.
Sure. Yes, I forgot the megaverse metaverse. The metaverse monarch of meta skiz versus. You know what? Yeah. Per usual, I'm a clinical social worker. If you know me, you probably know me from my Two Kids Rooms reactions. And I've been around here and I complain a lot. This is your most wonderful co-host. Would you be so kind as to present your wonderfulness?
Absolutely. Thank you, B. Hello, everybody. My name is Maya. I am a
And I kept calling you Mia, and you never corrected me. And by kept, I mean once. I once called you Mia, and then you didn't correct me, and then I felt bad.
I've heard many much worse things, honestly. That's
listen. Lullaby B is easy, but my actual name, I give up.
Listen, you can only try your best. You know, you really can only try your absolute best. And I would be committed to learning your name, to saying it correctly, because
I know you would.
Your name is your name.
Yeah,
you feel me?
But also I'm not putting that information on the internet because frankly, it's so easy to dox me. If people want to know who I am, I'm gonna make you everywhere. Put in the 45 seconds of effort, you know?
Real. And you should. Because if you're gonna go if you care that much to search me up, make sure it's right.
I mean, unless you want to report me to the New York Department of Licensing. Anyway, sorry, Maya, I interrupted you. Please continue with your introduction.
Guys, my name is Maya. I am also a social worker, licensing coming soon.
Which license are you working on? I don't know what the bachelor level licenses are.
Honestly, it's the one I'm working on right now is my certified alcohol and drug counseling certification. But if my job, it's okay. You really honestly don't need it now.
I don't work with that population.
Yeah, no. Honestly, that might be for the best. But I think I'm just gonna bite the bullet and start my master's program in the upcoming cycle in January.
Really? Oh my god, wait, I had no idea that you had were actively looking into that and applying and shit.
Yeah, well, I was thinking about it. I haven't really done the application.
It's ironic because this is so irrelevant. We have a whole bunch of people wanting to listen to us bitch about K-pop, and we are talking about master's programs. I'm just super fucking excited for you. So this is a very what a great note to start off on, because this is going to de-escalate quickly. Very quickly. So very quickly.
But so yeah, I think I'm just gonna bite the bullet, take out a loan, and start doing that because why not? Just get it over with. Life is already stressful enough. Let's add something else.
Fuck yeah! It already sucks out here. What's a little bit more debt that we're never gonna pay off, right?
Yeah,
already got plenty of debt I'm never gonna pay off. Why not? What's more gonna do, really?
What's more gonna do? Okay. So, yeah. So stay tuned for that information, or when I start getting started on that process, and then when I actually do start. So, yay!
And then maybe eventually the paperwork for my independent licensure will come in, and then I'll be as licensed as you can get.
Exactly. You know what I mean? And hey, who doesn't love credentials around here?
We're both out here killing it.
Yeah.
Or something. All right. So, as I was telling you earlier, I like the other day, like literally like Thursday, I was trying to figure out, okay, there's been a lot. Like I was organizing in my head. I thought that I had finally narrowed it down to like a few reasonable things. And then this weekend happened. And so much has been happening this weekend. I think the first thing to say is that probably, even though it's highly relevant, it's not stay relevant as much to talk about BTS.
Kind of, right.
Mostly I'm saying this because there was so much going on over the last 2 weeks that like I'm just trying to narrow something down.
So much going on. And I am going to take this time to, because this was a busy weekend. Like these people don't play. But anyways, but we're gonna take this time to obviously say, here at least, we do stand with domestic abuse survivors.
Yeah, and like not by just wearing a t-shirt of one of them after we totally
now we see the story and now it's like, oh my gosh, wow. And no, we do the real work.
Yeah, we actually give a fuck. Absolutely, totally distressing to see how many big name streamers and reactors in this space
we're just completely insensitive to,
like, I'm not gonna name names, but there were multiples.
A lot of your faves. Yeah. Like, a lot of y'all faves are very insensitive. Like, they made very insensitive comments. They'll
totally like watch all of the shipping content and extract all of the love for the queer content that their primarily female fan base is going to give to them, and like wring that dry and be super like queer accepting, and then actually throw women under the bus. Fuck that. Like honestly, absolute. Sorry, I'm mad now. Fuck them.
No, because that's exactly how it's been. And if anybody has followed my threads and you've seen that I made a post about it, and it was a lot going on. But your girl don't play around, and your girl said what she said. We don't platform abusers around here.
Fuck no. If we find out that
don't defend them.
I wasn't even willing to say Neil Gaiman's name out loud on stream. Like
exactly.
But so these motherfuckers out there
just was like, well, I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear nothing you're talking about. Okay, we're not platforming,
especially
or
when we're talking
abusers.
About primarily like Black survivors. Well, yes, primarily that one and Black survivors, because like, let's be honest, I feel like if this were like BTS, I don't know, going to a Neil Gaiman fan sign or something, like I do feel like the conversation would be different.
Exactly. But then someone also said, and a really good post, and I think I reposted it, but someone said if we put Sungri from Big Bang, it literally clicks. Like it's the same exact concept.
It's the same fucking thing, right? Like,
it's like, guys. Now, to be fair, to be clear, because y'all are not gonna piss me off. To be fair and to be clear, we are not saying BTS themselves are abusers or anything like that, man. No, we're not saying that.
It's the people who still fucking support Sungri.
Exactly.
Who are, like, and it is, and people are going to be like, well, Sungri did like way worse things than Chris Brown. And it's like, listen, I understand that one person we're talking about human trafficking and one person we're talking about abuse, but like also, did you see that Chris Brown fucking went on somebody's TikTok talking about this and like made fun of them?
Literally. Quite literally. So no, we're not going to sit here and debate. We're not going to deflect. No, that man is a horrible person. Stop platforming him. But if you want to platform him, go about your business.
If one of Skiz did this, would you? No, if one of Skiz did this, I'd be fucking pissed.
I'd literally be pissed.
Just like how because people brought up like, well, Pongchan like brought up a
He
Chris
listened to the recommended their songs, and he got fucking
and
cooked
he
for
got
that.
cooked for it, and then he
Like,
unfollowed Chris Brown and never mentioned him again.
Yeah. So let's not let's
Also,
put out the
I'm
fires
sorry,
inside our own houses.
there's also fundamentally fucking a difference between a like 22-year-old not knowing the like political context around someone they're recommending and
Right.
people BTS age who are at a concert, who are taking pictures and choosing to share those pictures and not look up. Like
Literally.
like and that's me giving the benefit of the doubt, which like I don't know that they deserve. That's me giving the benefit of the doubt that somehow they are unaware that Chris Brown is the way he is. Like, and
As
is
in,
an
as
abuser.
he hasn't been in this industry. Has literally been known.
I will say
since
that
he was
a lot of
teenager.
people, I mean, I complained about this when on Threads when I first saw that like he was nominated for a Grammy or something. I didn't realize he had come back. I was like, when did we uncancel Chris Brown? But
he
like,
never left, and that was literally what I was trying to explain to so many people. We have been trying to cancel him since these things have happened. We've been trying to cancel him every time he is in the media for getting in trouble with the law. What happens is people like some of you are like, it doesn't matter, get over it, it doesn't affect his music, blah 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 blah. Actually it does.
Yeah, no, it turns out that if you are a domestic fucking abuser, you're gonna make the type you're like, turns out being a domestic abuser actually does impact the type of fucking art you make.
Exactly. God forbid I don't want to listen to music from a person that is just a terrible fucking person. I don't care how many flips he can do. I don't care how good he can sing. I don't give a fuck.
You know, this
He's
is
still a horrible fucking person.
This is one of those things, like when we talk about like the art and the artist. Like, so okay, we read Lovecraft, and one, Lovecraft's dead, but two, we can separate the art from the artist. But the thing is that the way that, like, in critical analysis, separating the art from the artist is not about the artist is irrelevant to the art. It's about you have to critically understand the art or the information based on... So you read Lovecraft understanding that he was a virulent racist, and much of the horror that he has comes from this virulent racism, and you use that to unpack your own biases of understanding what horror is. Like, that's what separating the art from the artist is. This is, you know, so like Michel Foucault. A lot of people know that I reference Foucault a lot. Foucault did a couple very monstrous things. Right? Like, Foucault did some monstrous things. Many of the French philosophers of that era did some monstrous
horrible fucking things.
Horrible things, including the women, right? Female philosophers of that era were also for the reducing the age of consent to the age of 13, right?
Exactly.
Like, there were some monstrous things done. So you take that information and you read...
You apply it to the art that you're consuming.
Yeah,
like,
you read Foucault and you go, okay, his philosophical viewpoint is impacted, yes, as a gay man in this era who had AIDS, and as a gay man in this era who I'm not even gonna say did some... People can look it up.
Who did things.
Did some monstrous things.
Did things, okay? So yeah, we're not gonna have this. We're just not. We're not gonna do it. We're not gonna do it. And if that's what you were looking for, sorry, it's not a place for you. Please exit stage left.
But if you're looking for some people who actually have the lowest bar of values, I say as I'm drinking a Coke Zero because I literally can't, like...
I mean, but like, literally the bar could not be lower than the 7th layer of hell that it is in right now.
As my favorite saying, like, for a lot of these commentators and streamers and such, the bar is in hell, but they're limboing with the devil.
Hello?
Like...
And I don't want to be over there. It's not my ministry, personally.
No, I like to think that we are at least, like, at the crust of the earth, you know?
Exactly. You know what I mean? Like, we're we have room for growth. You know, we still got some time to
Like,
break
I
the
like
surface.
to think that our bar at least can be found with a metal detector.
Exactly. Any lower than that, we got some problems. Okay.
We're too low.
But
We're too low.
yes, to address the elephant in the room. Now y'all know.
To
Don't
spend
piss me off.
15 minutes bitching about this thing that we're not supposed to be
Yeah,
bitching.
literally. But you know, we had to address the elephant in the room because it's been a very long, like this has been going on for days, guys. I was away. Like I was away most of this week. It has been a long,
And it just
like 4
keeps
days.
going because there
And
just
it keeps
keeps
going.
being these deflections. There keeps being these
Right.
why did I get on Threads this morning and have people have to remind people about the accurate history of like Hyunjin rumors?
Hello, like Jesus
Like,
Christ, guys.
what is that? How low we're digging to try to say like, well, your fabes also
Right,
have been
like
humans who have fucked up? Like, is that
it's
we're
ridiculous, and y'all have been doing nothing but pissing me off about it. Okay, everybody, rub your brain cells together. Act like you got some sense. That's it.
I don't. Yeah, do they?
No, and I need them to develop the same place they get the audacity from on sale. Go get that sense and pay full price for that. Love you, bye.
Go pay full price for it.
Love you, bye. Jesus.
Yeah. Maybe I'll choose to love you in like 2 weeks.
Right now,
I'm struggling with the love right now. Go be
yeah,
honest.
struggling with it, but you know, it's fine. It's all we're all just here. We're
Okay.
trying to adapt and space together.
So beyond that, what are some of your? Why don't you read off some of your topics? I'm gonna write them down because some of these I think we're gonna come back to at some point. Read off your various topics over the last couple weeks, and then I'll read off mine, and we'll go through.
So one of my topics that has been this has been a strong point of contention for me for quite some time.
So,
And I have told you about this also.
Okay.
But we need to revisit and establish what our community dynamics used to be and what they currently have turned into.
Do you mean like on Threads specifically?
Yes. More specifically on Threads
because we don't know the community dynamics of some of the other places as much. But I do think that like there's an overall contemplation to have about community dynamics and what happens. So yeah. Okay. Community dynamics. Yeah. Totally. Okay.
We need to talk about that because we got to revisit it's getting very authoritarian in here. It is. And we need to talk about how there's much more incessant bullying going on. And we really need to talk about that.
I think I've not seen as much. I mean, obviously there was some of the I'm not gonna name names, but some of the things the other day that like the individual the racist shit.
Yes.
And I think addressing the racist shit against a community member, but I know that some of the other stuff that community member explicitly asked for people to like stop chatting about. But I do think that there is a point there though to say that like resolving harm with one person is not accountability if you've harmed a community. Right?
Exactly.
So like individual versus community accountability.
Yes, absolutely. Heavy on individual versus community accountability for sure. And then I haven't really seen much chatter or much discourse surrounding specific members at this point in time. My feed is also very like it's a mess right now. There's so many things all out of whack. Like
Yeah, I mean,
I see
obviously
stuff
there's
and then
been
I
a
don't see
lot
things.
in K-pop that's been
Yes,
happening.
that has been happening. Yes,
But
yes.
I've got a couple things that are a little bit lower focus. Any other
Mhm.
thoughts? I can come back to you too if anything gets triggered.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Okay. So throw it way back to 2 weeks ago.
Right.
Um, a this will be evergreen for a little while, right? But I'll
Oh
bring it up
yes.
again.
Oh yes.
Military chatter,
Yes.
because Lino brought it up during one of the concerts, so there was more of
Mhm,
that.
mhm.
Um, uh, shit. What was the streaming and Billboard?
Mhm.
There were a lot of
Mhm.
conversations about that. That's one of those things that's like, it's not evergreen, but it is recurrent. So, like, we will
Yes.
have future opportunities to talk about that, but
Mhm,
it's definitely for right now. It's gonna fade away a little bit.
mhm. Yeah,
But the streaming and Billboard shit was a fucking nightmare because nobody knows what the fuck they're talking about.
literally,
Um,
quite literally.
uh,
And we're now in a good place in a good place awards wise, or the things that people were complaining about
well,
doing the streaming and shit for.
with asterisks around exactly
Yeah,
some of the, like,
yeah.
Western centering of,
Mhm.
there was
Yeah, we'll get into
a
that. We'll
lot
get
with the
into
streaming and Billboard.
yeah.
Um, there, the fucking ad guys are fucking pissing me off. Every
I
goddamn day, we get
I
more ad
honestly
guys
have
on
not been
threads.
seeing them, or
You know what
maybe
it
I
probably
recognize them as
is?
something else.
Maybe, probably what it is, I would bet that you don't have as much on your feed
Mhm.
that's Hyunjin and Felix. Because it's the Hyunjin and Felix
Mhm.
Agkais who
Mhm.
are really being a fucking pain. I posted a screenshot just earlier today in the Agkai forum on my
Mhm.
Discord.
Mhm.
Like, fucking awful. Um,
Not even
Evergreen.
surprised.
Evergreen, though, this is, I mean, it's a little bit of community dynamics. Um,
Yeah.
uh, so the ad guys have been a huge pain. Um, the over the weekend, the fucking homophobic ass shipping discourse that's been going on. There was that whole thing with that, you saw that I got into that internet fight that I shouldn't have gotten into because it was
Mhm.
stupid, about the word crush.
Oh my
Did you
gosh,
see
no,
that?
but I
Oh my
did. I
god.
think I might have. No, I didn't see that. But it's funny that you say that because I literally shared a post earlier about them being honest about having guy crushes, and then that just killing the cis hetero women fantasy and
No, that was it. That was
this.
very
Oh,
similar to what was
okay, yeah,
happening.
yeah, yeah,
Is that like the no the concept, like, people, somebody was talking about, like, Chan saying that he had a crush on Cloud
yes.
Strife,
Hmm.
and the people in those comments, like, it was just full of straight
Hmm.
people
Hmm.
being like, well, I've had crushes that are platonic before, and I'm like, would you go to church, look someone in the eye and say, yeah, I have a huge crush on insert person of the same gender, and believe that that person
Hmm.
honestly would go, oh, I should clarify if they mean that platonically or not.
Exactly. Y'all know what it is. Like let's be for real. Let's
And
be
then
for
people
real.
being like, oh, this is just people not letting men have it was a whole thing. It was stupid, it was
Yeah,
really
that was a whole
homophobic,
thing.
it was
That was a
really,
whole thing.
really silly. But, like, also the homophobic shipping discourse, I'm gonna be straight up.
Mhm.
Listen, and the fact that I even have to, like, put an asterisk here because I know people are gonna get, like,
Yep. There, y'all gonna do it.
the way people treat Hyunlik shippers
Mm,
is so
mm,
fucking out of pocket. Like,
yeah.
and I'm putting that under homophobic shipping, like,
Yeah.
as a topic. But,
Mhm.
like, the amount of, like, yes, I get it. I also have been pissed off at Hyunlik shippers sometimes. I
Listen,
also
it
have had to
happens.
clarify misinformation. Just like I've been pissed off at Minsungers, Two Minners,
Right.
like,
Junction shippers, fucking
Unchanners,
Sinbin
Hunie Beanie
shippers, like
shippers. Like, listen, I
all
have
the
had
shippers.
lots of people who have been like, who either I've been like, wow, that's really fucking delusional, or like
Mhm,
wild take, or like,
mhm.
honestly, the fact that you ship them in this way is like kind of low key.
Right,
Shows that you don't know anything about queer people, like,
like,
type of shit. But like,
please.
I don't shit talk them on main, and I also acknowledge that, like, any biases I have about these shipping groups are confirmation bias.
That.
Because, no, you cannot just be like, this group of shippers that's like 40,000 people or whatever. Like,
Yeah,
anyway.
that's
And for
yeah,
some
that.
reason, Hyunlik shippers specifically get a lot of shit, and I have a lot of theories as to why, and we know I have a lot of theories as to why, because I have an entire fucking video partially as to why, but, which I do
But
need to
yes.
update. I need to update my Hyunlik's disinformation video, but that's future stuff. So, yeah, streaming, military, community dynamics, bullying and racism,
Mhm.
that racism was virulent. Individual versus community accountability, probably also an evergreen. Like, I'm sure that something else will come up like that too.
Oh, absolutely. We're
Right.
at a 1 to 2 business week turnaround at this point.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm at the point where I'm like, is every other week enough? And then
Is every other day enough at this point? Like, Jesus Christ.
and then the homophobic shipping stuff. Does any of that particularly speak to you?
Um,
I feel like, okay, let's partialize. Some of this stuff will make us legitimately angry. Some of this stuff will be more casual bitching with like more information and more like education. Are you feeling more in the mood to get legitimately angry and like legitimately bitch, or are you more in the mood to like be bitching from more of a like I don't know, genteel perspective?
and yeah, like
Where's our energy at emotionally?
right, yeah, because it's like the only thing that's really like I really, really, really want to talk about is is it really the individual versus community accountability, or is it really like the bullying under the guise of
do you
educating?
do you have examples of the bullying one? Because I haven't seen, or I don't know which things you're talking about explicitly.
Well, actually, let's not call it bullying. Let's scribble that. Let's more so call it the incessant dogpiling. Let's call it that.
Yeah, from what, again, like, I think I'm having a hard time without like specific examples, because
Examples, it's okay.
yeah, I think I see like a lot of types of but like there's a lot of
Mhm.
types of dogpiling. The one that really gets to me is not the
Mm.
dogpiling so much as the sub-threading a situation.
Mm,
Like the sub-threading a situation without explaining the situation in any way, shape, or form.
yes.
That
Yes.
one is one that like I've had a lot of issues with. And
Hmm.
I think also when we get mad at someone who like, an example that I saw was so I actually, the post where everyone started being super racist about I'll just say K, um
Hmm.
uh I saw that post before it had any likes or comments. I reported
Yes.
it. I took a screenshot of it just so that
Hmm.
I could go back and check, because I specifically chose to
Hmm.
not post it not comment
Yes.
because there was nothing
Yes.
on it.
Mhm.
And then I came back 2 hours later and it had blown up mostly because people started commenting on it, to like tell them off, which like kind of fair, but mostly what it did was blow up the post. And
Yes.
then
Actually, we can talk about that actually.
yeah,
we can actually talk about that though, because that has been a recurring. We're
Is
on
that-
like a 1 to 2 week timeline turnaround for that.
Oh, I mean, yeah, that's always a thing. Is that within what you're talking about when you're talking about the bullying dogpiling, or do we just need to asterisk that and tell you to go find some examples for next time you want to talk about it?
Yeah, because it's like when I do see it, I don't think to like screenshot it, but I'm also like, I don't want to put in names or examples because I think
No,
that
totally,
the way
but
that
like these
situations get handled, yeah,
yeah,
we'll come back to
I
that
don't
one.
mind summarizing it. Like I can do a
Yeah.
pretty good job of that without necessarily bringing up the specific examples, but like if I don't know what you're talking about, then I don't.
Yeah, no, it's fine. It's okay. It's fine. Yeah, we can come back to that one because it's going to happen in probably the next 12 hours. So I will be sure to take screenshots of them and then
take screenshots when you see what you're talking about, and then I can
Yeah.
understand what realm of dogpiling you're talking about.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so there it is, and again, it's a super evergreen topic, is this and this is probably going to be something that goes at some point into my how to survive as a K-pop stan, which is when is it valuable to comment on a post when it's out of outrage, and when is it probably going to cause more harm?
Absolutely.
Because what people did not think about with that post is that if no one, even if like 2 people had commented on it agreeing with it, and that was it, right? Like, no, that's not nice, but like, if no one had blown it up out of outrage, it would
not have become
and Kay
what it
might
did.
have never seen it. And the fact of the matter is that by blowing it up out of outrage, it forced Kay to experience the racism directed at them, which is super unfair. Like, I've talked a few times about, so for anyone who doesn't know, the basic premise of this story, but as I sort of said, this is like within a pretty common phenomena, is that someone so that there's a community member who's a very active community member, talks a lot about like racism and sexism and misogynoir and like
very active. Like you,
very
if
active.
you know, you know. I feel like most people
If you know,
have
you
like
know.
interacted and seen at this point.
Yeah. Gets angry sometimes, and that's fine, right? Like it's their page. And gets angry at the people they are fans of and stan, because of, I think, you know, things that we acknowledge are systemic things and are also like, but like specifically in this case was very frustrated at sort of the way that people idolize Chan for being this like great example or something when he's just like a rich dude who doesn't totally suck. Like he's a rich,
bare minimum, by the way.
Yeah, like he's a rich dude who like probably is decent to women and like generally seems like an ally to queer folks, and like again just is not limboing with the devil, right? Like,
you feel me?
He's a rich dude who doesn't limbo with the devil. That's mostly what we know. We don't know him. We literally
don't know this man. None of us know this man. None of us can say we have your interactions at concerts. You don't know this man. He's literally doing his job. You cannot speak to him.
As somebody said,
or speak to his like character.
Because with this BTS, right, people have been talking about Seungri, and somebody said, like, as a former VIP, or as a VIP, right?
Mhm.
I never say anymore.
My idol would never.
My idol would never, because some of us know that our idols would.
Hello.
Right? Like,
we don't know these people.
We don't know these people.
Everybody thought a funny way of showing you.
Everybody thought Neil Gaiman was a great feminist. This was like
everybody
part
thought
of
Singery was a great
brand.
person. He was shy. No, guys. No. You should never pedestalize anyone.
Yeah.
You should never pedestalize someone to the point where,
especially someone you don't fucking know.
You don't put anything past anyone, okay? You don't assume the worst automatically about someone, but you also don't be like, oh, they would never do something like that. You don't know. You never know what type of situation in life you will find yourself in life.
I will never get a tattoo that shows individual representations of stray kids unless it is highly abstract, right? Like, I once considered, like, their birth flowers.
Right.
You know, because you know what? I know lots of people with Harry Potter tattoos.
Hello.
I know lots of people with Neil Gaiman tattoos. I know lots of people with
Playboy tattoos.
Lots of people who get really attached to their parasocial media. And then guess what? Their parasocial media is in the entertainment industry and thus full of fucking rapists. Like,
literally, quite literally, every single one of them. Every subsection of the entertainment industry, okay? You don't know these people. Money, power, and access changes a person, whether for good or for evil or for the worst.
The only man who I am still hopeful about, the only cis man that I still am like, God, I really hope that he continues being the dude I think he is Brennan Lee Mulligan. That's it. Brennan Lee Mulligan, my anarchist dungeon master. That's it. That's it. Yes. That's fucking it.
Yes. Like, guys, we just don't know. You literally don't know. And it's scary. It's scary because a couple people have actually made posts like this and was like, you know, God forbid Skiz has some sort of like scandal where it's either a Singery type level,
like an actual for real scandal, like an actual one. Yeah.
Yes. Or like allegations come out and people will start. Yeah. And I also am scared for that day because I do not think that enough of you are rational enough to.
No. It would be.
None of you are rational enough. It would be a bloodbath. The amount of victim blaming, coddling, I said on my
recent live, like when
God forbid.
When I was pushing about the Harry Potter codes, people would literally, and like we remember that the Harry Potter thing, it was impossible to get people on board at all until like a year. Nope. When Walking on Water came out, we would, and this was when Threads was like a nicer place to be in.
Yes.
A few
Threads
of us,
was so calm.
A few of us would be like, it's really disappointing that like this one line does kind of make the song harder to hear. And like we couldn't even do that. We couldn't even do that. Like people wouldn't like
that was like, already
5 posts of that was already like so we had come a long way, right? I really want to emphasize we've come a long way on the Harry Potter thing.
Okay. But even like, though it seems like we get nowhere, we have come a long
way. It's just that like this is not a thing that in Southern Korea fucking anyone talks about. Like I know a number of people who have very left friends in Southern Korea who are completely unaware of like by the way, Harry Potter directly funds transgenocide, like directly.
Right.
But like when I was doing that, I had multiple people tell me that I personally was going to cause Han to have an anxiety spiral and give him panic attacks.
Yeah. as if Han even knows who any of us are, or as if Han actually gives a fuck.
Well, because
Nobody
also
cares.
because they would feel so stressed that you will care so much about something so stupid, and they would take it to heart and hate themselves for it the way that you're showing them hate. And then Han is going to because it's always Han, because they infantilize anxiety disorders to a horrific degree.
You act like this man is dependent on a person to get through his day-to-day activities. He can't talk. He can't walk. Y'all act like this man walks with his head down like this and mumbles all goddamn day. He doesn't do it. He's a grown man.
He's a grown man who has clearly either gone through a lot of therapy or been therapized by himself somehow. He knows how to fucking handle his anxiety at this point.
And he is not a ball of anxiety that needs protecting. It's not that serious.
And you know what? Even people who they are, they need to get feedback when they do things too, right?
Exactly. They need to know when they be fucking shit up.
But I don't know if you saw session 2 of the Spotify interview.
I did.
And all of their talking about if you can't handle feedback, get out of the music industry. And I'm like,
literally.
Can we gif?
Oh my god.
We gif every single fucking moment of that?
I will go back actually on my phone and screen record that fucking part. And every time we have these tedious ass, trivial ass discussions about accountability, feedback, constructive criticism, insert fucking clip. Oh my god.
One sec. Do you have a fucking cricket in your room or something?
No, it's probably right outside my window, girl. They are loud. They are so loud and so obnoxious.
How loud those motherfuckers in Jersey are. It's been is it a cricket? Do you hear crickets or cicadas?
Crickets. I hear crickets where I live, but the ones that I can't hear are sprickets, and I have so many of those.
I fully thought that you were accidentally pressing a cricket sound on your Discord or something.
No, they are just loud and rude. Loud and rude as hell. That's my window.
Now that you're saying, window. I remember now living in Jersey and having these loud as fuck crickets and cicadas. Fucking cicada season when you walk out and your yard is just covered in
cicadas, and you just hear they're just.
We don't get that shit in Seattle. Anyway. Yeah, so,
But yes, I'm going to go screen record that clip, and every time we have some bullshit-ass discourse about constructive criticism, accountability, and feedback, I'm going to insert that clip. If they themselves can say, if you cannot take feedback, you don't need to be in the music industry, they also apply that same thing in real life. Because if you can't handle someone telling you that your work is not what they like, or if you have done something that's oh, that actually was such in bad taste, then you can, you have to be an adult. You have to be able to hear no or not. It's not really my thing. You have to be able to hear that.
Yeah.
Simple.
Right. Okay. So this to throw back, we were okay. Right. So the anyway. So Kay was complaining about the way that people idolize Pongchun, who is simply a rich dude.
He's a rich man.
Pretty rich man who, we hope, we have reason to believe is not irredeemably awful.
Exactly.
Bars in hell. Bars in hell.
Exactly.
So, listen, I think, and I actually made a comment on one of their posts, because somebody had sort of tongue-in-cheek called him a revolutionary, but a lot of people did not think it was tongue-in-cheek. And then a lot of people took it very seriously and fully backed it, and were yeah, he's a revolutionary. And I'm the man said it's hot outside.
He said it's hot.
He said
Vanna,
it's
slow down.
hot.
The man, they gave him their money. Also, these things have been edited out of the video, by the way.
Yeah,
so
they
now
were
you
edited
don't
out of the
see
video,
it.
and it's not like Chan is like going on Bubble and being like, yeah, so my commentary about how these workers aren't getting
Yes.
like it's not like
he's not going on there
said
being like
what people say every day. It's just that he was famous.
He's him. Exactly. He's him,
Like,
and he said it. That's not a revolutionary
good,
act.
Solid. That's
solid.
He
cool.
He kind of stood with workers for a moment, and because he's
After they gave him his
famous,
little pennies at
it
the
went
end.
viral. So anyway, I kind of commented like, calling him a revolutionary is hilarious. Give him to me 5 days a week for 3 months. I think I could turn him into one, but like he's got work to do. And someone commented like, this is such a weird thing to say. And I was like, you know what? 95% chance that whatever you say next is going to make me roll my eyes so hard that they fall out of my skull. But like, I'll bite. Sure. What's so weird about it? They did not respond.
Exactly. Because
it's probably they were weirded out by me saying like, yeah, give him to me and I'll coach him into it. Right. But it's like, do you think,
because God forbid they can't learn something
do you think
outside the scope of their job?
Do you think that revolutionaries don't have mentors? Like, no, because they've never thought about revolution, actually. They've never actually thought about, like, the political implications of how you become a revolutionary.
Yeah.
And, like, the fact that revolutionaries don't exist as individuals, and that is a falsehood perpetuated by the state in order to convince people to not engage in revolutionary action because it's a false, like, idolization of an idea so that because you believe you're not special enough to do it, and like that convinces you to not engage with it because you're not the person they're going to make a biopic about. Like that is literally the fucking playbook.
Literally. And there's so many people who are revolutionaries based on, like, everybody has their own part in the revolution. And I've said this multiple times. Everybody has their role, whether that be participating in your community kitchen, you know, maybe bringing back a bartering system, maybe you're watching someone's kids. Like, everybody has their part in the revolution. Everybody
That's
is not
why the Black Panthers were so effective. The Black Panthers were so effective. And listen, I am not a Marxist-Leninist, and like, so in that way, like, I don't align with the Black Panthers, but like, also, it really doesn't matter whether you're a Marxist-Leninist or an anarchist at the time that they were at. Like, that was not the relevant question at hand. But like, the reason they were so effective, the reason the Montgomery bus boycott was so effective is because they had this incredible stream of people engaged for months. Wasn't it like 11 months or something?
Yes, it was literally 11 months of
thousands of people were involved. Thousands of people were involved.
And they made that shit work. And guess what happened after those 11 months?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I need people to start reading the books, because the books are there, the material's there, but you also
FBI have to, uncoded information is there, the CIA information is there.
Okay,
like, it's literally not a conspiracy theory that they killed MLK. Like, it's written there. Like,
that's because people don't read. This goes back to what we were saying last week. Y'all don't read.
Well, this is just about not reading history. This is just about this isn't even about like you don't know how to read. This is like you don't read.
You don't read.
Or listen or whatever, right? Like, I haven't read all those documents, but I listen to a lot of podcasts. I gain information through other experts' information, not fucking TikTok random ass claim they're an expert and don't give you their credentials on their fucking expertise information, right?
Exactly.
Like, it's so anyway,
he's not a revolutionary, and that's essentially
he's
what
not a revolutionary
the post was about.
All we know is that he is minimum moderate liberal.
Right, minimum moderate liberal, bare minimum basic decent guy. Okay, we don't know this man, and we're not gonna pretend that we do. Okay, we're just not.
We don't know.
And essentially that's what Kay's post was about.
Yeah.
Now,
It was a little angry. It was a little angry.
I will say that if it was me, or if this was like a, hey, can you read this and tell me how this sounds situation, immediately the post should have just been about the fact that people were conflating the idea of him actually being a revolutionary. And
Kay is very honest about how they write. Kay is honest about their emotions and how they write. Oh, by the way, Maya and I already agreed that like the hour time limit was a bad idea.
It's not a thing. So
it's not a thing. It's a lie. You're gonna
deal
with whatever is happening.
Deal with it.
So the post, and I was probably one of the first people who saw it, was screen capping Kay's posts, and this is from a like 60-person follower account. Like this is from an account that doesn't exist in the world yet. Knows nothing about the community it's in. Completely like
just here
calling Kay an anti who needs to be blocked and etc. and so forth because they hate Pongchan. And like, you know what? There's probably moments where they do hate Pongchan, and that's fucking okay. That doesn't actually make someone an anti.
Yes, it doesn't make them an anti. I understand the feelings that come with it because he's him, and
it's a parasocial relationship, right? So like,
parasocial relationship.
Everybody is projecting an identity onto these people, and sometimes the identity that you're projecting, you understand that you hate that factor, right? Like the hatred for, you know, quite. I'm gonna say quite wealthy. He's people.
Yeah.
The amount of wealth in this world is he's quite wealthy at his age. He is obscenely wealthy.
Age, and for what he does, he's a wealthy guy.
This post screen caps them, calls them an anti, says that everyone should block them, etc.
Right.
Again, I don't know exactly where it started because I left for 2 hours. Like I said, I screen capped it. I thought about commenting, and I thought about posting the screen cap. And what I decided was that I didn't want to do that when there were 0 interactions on the post because it was a, you know, when I have, as you know, there are a few accounts that really hate me in particular. And sometimes they pop back up and they say something really, really vile about me. And I have explicitly asked people that if they're posting about situations about me, that they keep those screenshots and keep that conversation in its own forum or own subthread, because I don't want to see it unless it's immediately worrisome, unless it is immediately relevant. I don't want to see the shit people are saying about me. It's not helpful. Like, yes, I do need to know if someone says that they'd be happy to drown me in a river. That doesn't mean I want to see them say that. And I certainly do not need or want to see a long thread of people saying that clearly, they feel terrible for my clients because of a rumor somebody made up. Like, I don't want to see that. I don't want to see people talking about how, whatever, I relate everything to queerness. I don't want to see, like, I don't want to see that shit. And I made a choice of like, this is clearly like silly and unnecessary and probably racist, right? Like, it's given a little bit of like aggressive black femme energy. And what's more important to me is that I don't want it to get back to Kay, because Kay doesn't need this in their life. And I come back 2 hours later and literally fucking everyone is talking about it. Literally fucking everyone is talking about it, but it's in this weird sub-thread form that like is not always pulling up screenshots. There's also something else happening at the same time, and it's really hard to tell what posts are talking about that and what posts are talking about the racist post. This original post has like mostly has been deleted now, but like had like 5 comments in agreement and then like 60 comments telling it off, and then a whole bunch of posts talking about telling it off. And like, yeah, the comments in that got super fucking racist. Calling a black femme a cockroach is so brazenly
like, wow, you don't even fuck at all. You don't have no decorum.
Was like, it? I don't think it was you. But somebody posted about how like that's just a slur at that point. That is just straight up a slur at that point.
It was not me. It was not me. I did not say anything about that situation. I was looking at everything happening.
Somebody posted commenting being like, yeah, at that point, that just is a slur. And I was like, yes, no, absolutely. And then
was crazy like that.
And then the commenter agreed with it. And like, again, if just nobody had ever fucking commented on this and just reported it,
literally,
that racism wouldn't have come up.
Exactly. Like we have to decide, and we have to draw the line at where some things are worth pitchforking, blowing up, and things that are not. And that was something that did not need so many eyes on at the same time and everybody reacting at the same time. It wasn't needed. Everyone could have simply reported the post as they were seeing it. Someone could have even been like, hey, there's a post going around.
Send it to the Discord. Send it to the Discord. This is what the Discord is for sending it to the Discord and then blocking things without making them visible to the people they're going to fucking hurt.
Literally. And all the subthreading and it makes it worse because you're drawing attention to said thing that we're trying not to draw attention to. So like, guys, y'all have to be more conscious of the things that y'all make visible.
And so like what I'll say is that I know that it's really difficult to answer the question of what things do we make, do we dogpile on like in that way and what things do we not. There was a post that I did join in a bit of a It was a very fun comment that I made, by the way. It was, I don't know if you saw it. It was the one that was like, it was like a 4-point post. It was like a 4-thread post that was like all of the detailed bullet points of why I don't like being called a cis woman by this person who was ostensibly a liberal. And I think I just called them a moderate liberal dork. My wife liked that a lot. But like the reason I posted that at that point is because that post was already blown up, right?
Right.
So here's the times when I think something is worth, and like, I used to comment more on things to be like, but then I realized that like my comments were blowing posts up because even though I don't have that many followers in comparison to big accounts now, 2,500 followers is still enough. Especially when a lot of my mutuals are people who, I love y'all, you get angry and you do not think about the harm you're about to cause when you get angry on behalf of somebody else.
Literally. Like sometimes you really have to stop and think about what could this potentially do next? Yeah.
What is the possible domino effect? Is this going to hurt somebody more than it's going to help others?
Exactly.
Right? We have whisper networks and blockchain lists for a reason. Ask yourself.
Always has to.
And for anybody who's sitting here like, what are whisper networks and blockchain? Like, we go into group chats. Like, I have one on my Discord for people who like, we like feel we understand the community. They are not getting into a lot of conflict with other community members, right? Like things like that. And we usually just share screenshots of people being assholes and talk about like this exact type of thing. But like there's group chats, we have whisper networks. We talk about people who are assholes.
Exactly.
Sorry to everybody who thinks that the group chats should never mention anybody else on the internet. I know you're a fucking liar and you're talking about people on the internet too, right? Like, that's how safety works. Whisper networks happen in every single industry, in every single large scale community. Whisper networks are how we survive. Fuck off.
Literally. If you think otherwise, you clearly have never been a part of any substantial community.
I know for a fact.
And I don't trust you.
I know for a fact there's a lot of people listening to this who like aren't on Threads, and this is their like gossip channel, and I feel like they're not going to fully understand why I'm saying fuck off about the group chat things, because like,
but no,
the whole people are talking about us behind our back thing is
as if you don't do that shit every day. Be
it's
so for real. Okay,
it happens all the time.
Do not act holier than thou in here. Okay, we're not doing that.
But yeah, so like the for me, the answer is a combination of a couple of things, right? Like, one, is the post already blown up, but not to a point where now you're just like screaming the same thing as everybody else? So like, I'll look at the comments. If the comments are not all in agreement, sometimes you see posts where the comments are all telling the person that they're a dipshit. And I'm like, okay, job's been done here. I don't need to add to this. Sometimes you go into the comments and you're like, okay, this is actually like, it's kind of 50-50. Right? That was the Chan had a crush on Cloud Strife post. Is that I was like, okay, these are legitimately like 50-50.
It's a 50-50 going on right here.
Right. For me, it's like, if there is benefit in either having discourse with somebody in the in the conversation, I like identify that there's somebody there, or I look at something and I go, other people are going to need to read what I said. It's not going to get through to this person. This person, useless. But I need there to be a response that other people can see, because it might be helpful to somebody else. Right? But if the post already, I mean, I really do appreciate that. Like, I think like last week, Rhea reposted something with commentary on it, and I commented saying like, I actually think that this is not the thing to repost. Like, share the screenshot, but it's under the radar, and it's like, I think that this is just going to make the post bigger if you share the post itself. And Rhea deleted it, right? Like, I respect that. And I think that most people who are doing this do respect when you go like, hey, your sub-thread that's not a ghost post is going to be up for the next 3 days. Like, people are going to see it periodically for the next 3 days. It's going to confuse the shit out of them for 3 days. Your commentary directly talking about this direct set of racism that everybody else is talking about, like, everybody's logging on, and this is making every single Black femme log on and experience this racism. And because everybody is talking about it. Well, rather, everybody who's not a Black femme is talking about it. Strangely, I saw very few Black femmes doing this. Right.
Because but see, not to give up too much information, because you're already being our business too much anyway. Let's not give you too much access. But there literally is a time and place to have certain conversations. Some of them are worth having on main, and some of them are not worth having on main. Yeah. You have to have a level of discernment to know when to have certain conversations in mixed company.
Yeah, and fully, I like, if I found out, and I am not asking because people don't need people in their business more. If I found out that like 10 of the Black femmes, Black femme non-binary folks who are most active on Threads were in a group chat and we're talking about this shit with each other and just each other and nobody else, that would both not surprise me and be super valid and probably a great idea.
Exactly. Quite literally.
right? Like, yeah, because, you know, I'm sure that, because y'all need to talk about this shit to someone, but like,
right. We need to talk about people that
the rest of us are fucking dipshits. So I
you just
like,
understand where I'm coming from. But then even in that, you gotta be particular about that too. But yeah. We need a space to talk about these things, not in mixed company, because sometimes, most of the time, all of the time, talking about certain things in mixed company, you get opinions and you get that are not relevant to the conversation because you're not gang.
Well, and from the get-go, like, you have to immediately code switch. Like, it's talking about these things in mixed company is immediately putting you into an education standpoint, right?
Exactly.
Like, it's immediately putting you into a, like, you're not just venting, you're not just bitching, right? Like, you talking right now about this, you are not just venting about it, you're not just bitching. You immediately have to code switch into, like,
because everybody
the mixed
feels
audience.
like conversation, right? Like conversations are not for you sometimes, and that's okay.
No,
sometimes
this is true of trans folks. Also,
hello.
Trans women.
I defend my friends all day, every day, but that's that they have conversations that I'm not privy to, and that's okay.
Yeah, like I know of a number of trans women, trans femme only spaces. That should be trans femme only. And like even I know trans masc folks who think that they have a right into those spaces, and I have to explain to them like, no. You don't.
No.
You don't.
No.
You don't. Just like, you know, black femmes don't have to include black masks into their space.
No. You have to have a wristband to get in. You do. Yeah. You have to have a wristband. And that's okay. Because I feel like I should have a wristband to get into your conversations too. I don't have a wristband. So I'm going to mind my business and go to where I do have a wristband.
Yeah, there's plenty of places we all have wristbands into.
We all have wristbands somewhere, okay? We can maybe have representatives of each to come in the middle and then talk about nuances and things, but everybody has their place, and that's okay. That's okay.
Like, go where you've got a wristband into. Trust me, you physically cannot, you do not have the brain space to interact with every place that requires a wristband.
Nope. Not at all. Not even a little bit.
It doesn't exist.
Doesn't exist.
Yeah, so I just think people really, and this is when I am more active on my Discord server, I do a lot, because I haven't been as active because I've been very split attention-wise for a lot of reasons. But like a lot of what I end up doing in my Discord server is saying to people like, do we need to be talking about this like this? Is this helping? And I know that like there are some people on the server who do tend towards being angrier or more enraged, or people in the community who aren't on the server who like I think are still struggling to understand like your rage is not necessarily helpful to the people you are enraged on behalf of.
Nope.
Your rage is probably only beneficial to you and people with similar attitudes and positions to you. And sometimes it's not helpful to you either.
At all. Some of you pick fights just for the fuck of it, and we have to stop.
Sometimes it's fun to pick a fight, just like we said last week, right? Like, or 2 weeks ago, right? Sometimes you pick a fight, and like you're like, yeah, that made me feel better. But more often than not, if that is a frequent thing, or if that is like if you're doing it out of a defensive space, right? Like, first of all, over defending yourself in your community does have negative consequences.
Yes.
Right? Again, this is the same thing with like, okay, everybody came to Kay's defense. I don't know if, I mean, maybe Kay asked people for that, but I don't think I saw Kay asking people for it. And like, it blew up very, very, very quickly. Again, I was gone for like a couple of hours, and I came back and I was just shocked. I was like, I literally saved this post 2 hours ago as a like, keep an eye on it because hopefully no one else will see it.
Yeah, no, it blew up very fast. And it was after it blowing up, it did not die out for quite some time.
No.
Even turning to the next day, actually, it turned into something different. So no,
and if we used that to just talk about like the racism in the fandom, that would be one thing. Like if we had used that as a way to be like, hey, so we're not going to reshare this shit anymore, but it is really important that people understand what happened, how much. I don't even know how many racist comments there actually were on that post. I know of like 2 comments that were super racist on that post, but like people were being so vague about it after it had been deleted that like I don't even really know
the scope of like how bad it got like in the comments. And I didn't either. I didn't get to like fully see. I didn't get to see the post, and I didn't get to see how much of it had gotten real racist and real right turny. But the talking about it and the talking around it also draws a negative attention, and it creates an unnecessary cycle of dialogue that we just don't need. Like, yes, we some of us all saw it happen. I'm not gonna say we all saw it happen, but some of us all saw it happen. But you have to know when to let things die. We can say a thing like, guys, this is a terrible thing. This was like totally not okay. The comments were insane. Like, this is why you shouldn't say things like this. And then move on. We don't need 50 people saying the same thing.
Let the people with the most followers say it and endorse those posts.
Yes.
Right? Either let the people with the most followers or the people impacted. Right?
Yes.
Or ideally, both.
Yeah.
Right? Like, if the best thing to do would have been to message Kay and be like, hey, Kay.
What's going on, buddy?
There's a post. I'm only going to send it to you if you want it.
Right.
I want you to tell us, do you want to make something addressing it? Do you want somebody else to make someone addressing it?
Or do you just want to let it float into the ether?
No one to address it. Right?
Pretend doesn't exist. If you put no attention to it, you don't even have to make the post to begin with.
And that doesn't stop us from talking about racism, right? Because we can still say, hey, so there was a post that really pissed me off. It was super racist.
Yep.
I'm not going to get into it because the person most impacted does not want us to. And that's fine.
Exactly.
Some of you know what I'm talking about. Some of you don't. But what I do want to talk about is the fact that racism against especially Black femmes, but frankly, just the person most melanated who is within an issue, right? Because like in this case, I also said something about how cis men can do nothing and get idolized. Nobody came after me. Now, my post was, to be fair, I work very hard to try to make my posts very difficult to impeach in that way. Right? Like, this is something, if I'm going to make those posts, these days I work very, very hard to make it so that it's very difficult to take them out of context.
Yes.
So, you know, that is part of it. And also a lot of people have learned not to fuck with me because people will fuck with them if they fuck with me. But we have a lot of new stays. A lot of them have not learned that lesson, right?
That's okay.
Yeah, nobody came after me for this. However, in previous times when I was one of the most or more melanated people talking about an issue, it would always come back to me.
Exactly.
And like the white folks would never be talked about. Right? So, like, we can still talk about how in controversial situations, the most melanated femmes involved are going to get the most shit.
Yes, because people feel comfortable just being nasty and disrespectful to Black women, Black femmes, Black people in general. People just feel way too comfortable just being nasty to us. It's just the reality of the world because that's how the world works.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But online, it's even worse because people feel emboldened to say nasty things behind the screen because of anonymity. That's a whole other layer to it as well.
And if there's not a Black femme to go after, they're happy to go after someone who might be Middle Eastern looking.
Literally.
Right?
Quite literally.
Like, so, you know, that's, we can still talk about that without blowing up a post that doesn't need eyes on it.
Exactly.
Right? Like, it's not causing a threat. Like, okay, maybe a few people block K because of it. Do we care about those people blocking K? If they're the type of people to block K from those screenshots and being told they're an anti, like, does that matter?
In the grand scheme of things, no.
Like,
it doesn't.
Way more people started reporting K's profile and saying racist shit to K as the post got bigger.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
Because as more people started complaining about it, more people started going after it just as an antagonism tactic.
Right.
Like,
right.
Us getting mad and blowing something up for the people who are most virulently a problem, they're going to take that as an invitation to be a problem.
Exactly.
And then they go and talk about how, you know, it's always this one subsect of people, but like it's also always one subsect of people talking about the one subsect of people, right?
Exactly.
Like I could list the name. Well, and that subsect actually changes because eventually they get run off threads, right? Like I could have listed the names 4 months ago, and now I can list the same names. Well, not the same names. I can list the names of that subsect of people, and they're different names.
Yep.
Right? Like, because
if you're gonna start your shit, stand in it.
Yeah, and because a lot of these people who would be like, oh yeah, it's always the same group of people giving a shit about other humans.
God forbid we ask y'all to care about other people.
Yeah, eventually they show their asses in a way that, well, they show their asses all the time. Eventually they show their asses in a way that people realize is no longer in any way acceptable.
Yep.
Right? Like, it's the thing with, like, how CMC, well, some people thought it was too far when she started posting about me literally every 15 minutes for 25 hours.
Yeah.
But, like, a lot of people were like, you tried to dock someone's Discord server. Right? Like that's...
You have shown all of your ass. The entirety of it.
Yeah. And a lot of people were like, that's too far, right?
That's crazy.
And she really wasn't able to she tried to recover her reputation, and she wasn't able to, and now she's on Twitter instead, as far as I'm aware. I don't know, maybe she's back on Threads, but as far as I'm aware, she's on Twitter, or at least she's very quiet on Threads, right? Like, eventually people go too far and they can't recover their reputation, because what happens is they basically get sucked into this alt-right pipeline. But Threads is not an alt-right platform. It's a moderate liberal platform. So the alt-right pipeline can get this far, but if you keep getting encouraged to go down it, eventually you say or do some shit that the moderate liberal base goes like, oh, like... couple people who I haven't, at least, I mean, I have them super blocked, but like I haven't really heard anything about them recently, who like had constantly gone after me for bullshit and then started supporting ICE.
The Venn diagram is a circle with y'all.
Like, at this point, I start seeing people talk about that subsect of people, and I'm like, oh, in X amount of time, and sometimes that X amount of time is 15 minutes.
Right.
But in X amount of time,
you've already turned.
You're gonna really show either you're going down that pipeline and you're gonna get blocked by everybody, or you're going to block everybody who would keep you from it.
Right.
And you're gonna say or do something real out of pocket.
Yeah.
And
either way, y'all gonna show your ass every time. And hey, I just say let it play out. I just say let it happen every single time, because sometimes people have to.
I have such a hard time with that. Like, I hate seeing people pulled
Sometimes
into the
people have
alt-right
to take
pipeline.
it.
I know. Trying to keep moderate white women away from the alt-right pipeline is like my downfall. I understand.
It's so difficult, man. Like, I really.
I've successfully done it sometimes.
Right.
Like, I have a number of followers who are straight up like, yeah, I can identify that I was in the alt-right pipeline before I found you, and you made me really uncomfortable, but I stuck with it, and I'm like really happy about that. And I like that makes it so hard for me to like write off some of these people.
Like, listen, you literally got saved. You literally got saved by the bell. You were this close to getting kicked to the gulag. Okay, this close.
I know.
But found your way.
And I feel bad for these people because their community always abandons them when shit gets tough, right? They think they'll have a community, and then they'll be like, I was so isolated, no one was there for me, no one was speaking to me, like no one was helping me, why was I all alone? And like, they're not getting mutual aid from each other, they're not getting like, and I'm like, well, you abandoned community, so a community abandoned you. Like,
you can't expect the community to stick around after you show your whole ass. No.
You just can't. Like,
people have enough. People have a limit.
And
people have a limit.
I have a hard time not feeling for people because I understand. I think it's because I understand the psychology of like how easy it is to get pulled into these things. And I understand the psychology of exiling. This is another reason why I don't love blowing up things that don't need to get blown up, is because sometimes, and I do appreciate that, like, again, when people find out that somebody's like a literal teenager or like literally 19, and I know that that's hard because there's a lot of actually mature, reasonable teenagers in 19, but there's also a lot who aren't, right?
A whole lot that aren't.
That people tend to back off a little bit, but like also you never really know how old someone is you're interacting with until they tell you.
Exactly.
And sometimes
the exile is not called for.
Once you blow something up, that
you cannot undo it.
Yeah, once you blow something up and you and people consider it irredeemable, whether or not it is, I'm going to be straight up. While many of the racist comments that were made got pretty irredeemable, and I think that agreeing with them showed something. The original post, deeply problematic, not community-centered, the original post was not exile irredeemable worthy.
Nope.
I think that person, just based on the original post, again, future things notwithstanding, but based on the original post, if that had never blown up, it is possible that person could have, having been new to the community, eventually, like, you don't know what direction they might swing at that point. By the time you start calling people out on main, like, through the method of, like, showing screen name, getting really angry when you tell people to block them, calling, you know, like, by the time you get there, not only are you inviting the alt-right now, you are now making an invitation for the racists and the alt-right to take that person. You also are putting that person in a defensive stance where they are less likely to learn.
Mm-hmm.
You have to decide to wait to do that until somebody and until you're looking at something and you're like, this person is not going to change.
At all.
I have made some of those posts, and it
Mm-hmm.
has been at the point where I have looked at something and I have said, this is vile.
Yes.
The level of vile this is shows a greater danger to my community than it
Mm-hmm.
shows a danger to them to
Mm-hmm.
knowingly put them in a situation where they're going to lose a lot of their community.
Exactly. It's like, it reminds me of like children when they just say things. Now, children, they repeat everything that they hear. Okay, that's why people try not to curse around children, because they repeat everything that they hear. They're sponges in a way. It reminds me of like someone saying things, someone saying something, or like children saying something they don't know the meaning of, but they say it because they're angry, or they say it because they're overwhelmed, or they say it because they're scared. It reminds me of that. Sometimes the person's going to say what they're going to say, regardless. But sometimes you have to be like, hey, and it can take 1, 2 people, whatever, it's fine. Because we don't know what the rest of those comments look like, because they got deleted so quickly. But you don't know if someone was like, hey, so I understand if you're not a fan of what the content was being said. However, you can disagree without it turning into a racial thing.
Yeah, I mean, the original thing that I was thinking of commenting on their post was
Mm-hmm.
literally saying, hey, K is a really big and important part of this community. I
Mm-hmm.
understand why you are reading these and interpreting them as an anti. That is
Yes.
not what's happening. And
Mm-hmm.
like, you are coming after a really, you as somebody who is clearly new to this community,
Mm-hmm.
are going after a really established community member who has
Mm-hmm.
been hurt a lot in the past, and I don't recommend that, because
Right.
you are going to have issues if you do
Mm-hmm.
that. And I
Mm-hmm.
wish now that I had commented that. I
Right.
didn't, because I knew that making that comment would blow up the post.
Right. But also not knowing, but not really putting it past the post blowing up anyway, because people were screenshotting it, ghost posting about it, sub-threading about it. Like,
I had really hoped that I would be able to keep an eye on it fast enough to see if it started so that I could, but like I didn't.
It happened so
so
fast. It happened so fast. So yeah. But like it's not cancelable worthy. That person could have been sidebar chatted, and then maybe the post would have been taken down.
And then maybe you discover that they are a virulent racist, or they are just an asshole,
right.
and like, fine,
Right.
sure, go for it at that point.
Cool.
But it's just like, you gotta
you automatically assign the label that you know, but you don't really know if the label really belongs there.
Yeah, well, and I think at first it wasn't clear if the post was always going to invite racists. Like,
yes.
if anybody saw it, because people are racist to K, right? Mm-hmm. Like, the second you critique a black femme, you're inviting racists, unfortunately, even if the critique is a valid and well-worded one.
Right. The racists are always, they're coming right behind.
Yeah. But like, the original post itself, it was kind of a dipshit move. But like,
you could have kept that to yourself. But
yeah,
also,
but like, that's all I can say about it, is that it was a dipshit move.
Yeah.
And I don't think a dipshit move is exilable.
No. And it's also like, guys, we all know that there are going to be racists on these platforms. Maybe we can say 1 in every 25. You know what I mean? Like, they're going to
just
happen.
Like
they're
virulent
inevitable.
Racists, just like straight up, like I am just a fucking racist. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, like we know they're going to be here,
and
like,
we all know that people who like. There are going to be people who say racist shit who do not realize they're saying racist shit.
Exactly.
And those are going to be the ones who are most difficult to work with, right? Because like those are the ones who, like, you gotta be like, hey, calling a black femme a cockroach is not
deplorable.
like
Why would you even say that?
That's not remotely the same as calling like a white person
anything.
Literally anything.
Literally anything. Like, don't ever do that again. Actually,
yeah. And like it feels wild that some people you have to explain that to, but like yeah, some people have to learn that eventually, right? And we don't know when they are.
Right.
And that doesn't mean you have to be the one teaching them.
No.
Right? Like, you don't have to be the one engaging with these things if you're not the one able to do so in, like, a useful way.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, sometimes...
If you're just going to immediately do the call-out, accusatory, blowing this shit up, block this person, they're racist, blah, 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 blah. Hey, buddy, listen.
Now, if I go through that person's posts and I go through their comments and I see that this is, like, a consistent type of thing.
Right.
Or they have other red flags or things like that, then no, I'm not going to have that conversation with them. And I probably am going to screenshot them and their other posts and be like,
Exactly.
This is, please report this comment, or like things like that, right?
Yeah. But you see how that comes with doing more investigating. That go look at the replies, go look at the reposts. Like, then we can make statements.
Like, giving that information. Again, it is very possible that this post became racist by the poster and the comments before anybody blew it up. I don't know. Nobody gave any context.
Nope.
Every now and then, I'd see a single screenshot of one comment, and like that's guys, all anybody saw.
Anything, right?
All I know is that somebody said a fucking awful thing, and we all agree it was fucking awful. And like, I don't think that anyone who hasn't blocked you already is going to like learn something revolutionary by you talking about how it's an awful thing to say, right?
Exactly. Like, these are not revolutionary acts, guys.
There are 20 people saying this is deplorable, and like a half of your followers are the same people, and we're all just yelling we hate this in a circle. Like, what are we doing here?
It's not necessary. Let like you said, the one account with the most followers, like the bigger account, say it. Most of us are probably already following each other.
Retweet it or repost it, fucking whatever.
Like, repost it and keep it the fuck pushing. That's it.
Yeah, bolster one or two people, like bolster a few people.
And move on.
Who give full context and provide full fucking context.
Screenshots.
And
maybe.
And has like useful commentary to say on it.
Mm-hmm. And move on.
If there is more commentary, then you can have more commentary, but we don't need constant 1/4 of discourse, like a quarter of discourse.
Right. Like, if we're gonna rehash everything, don't rehash a piece of it, or just don't, just stop recycling. Recycling is not needed all the time. It's literally just not.
And if
necessary.
You want to get on main and say, I'm just really fucking mad about this racist bullshit, period, fine. Like, that's a different thing from a subthread. Right? Like, that's
a different topic.
Like, subthreads that are annoying in my eyes are subthreads that are trying to tell people to do things without giving them the context of what they're doing. Right? So subthreads that are like, just don't, oh my God. When I log on to threads and I see 14 posts and like, listen, y'all, I love you. I know that we're talking about the people listening to this. I love you so much. You're such incredible sweethearts. When I log on to threads and see literally 6 posts almost in a row saying, don't comment on things you don't understand, I want to defenestrate myself. What are we doing here?
Now, the only time I do say that, because I literally just said it yesterday, the only time I say that is if a situation is fresh on main
Okay,
And we're
so the
like,
thing
hey,
is,
what
it's
the hell is
always
happening?
said when it's fresh on main. But the thing
Right.
is that bothers me is when people say it, literally that's
Mhm.
it. And that's
Right.
all that they say. And I'm like,
Right.
I don't know which topic you're talking
We're
about.
talking about. You're
Like,
talking about
I don't.
anything.
There's 17 things going on. My entire feed is now just a mess of people
Literally.
telling other people to do or
Not to
not
talk
do
about the
things.
thing.
Like, it's very like the first rule of Fight Club is to not talk about
Don't
Fight
talk
Club.
about Fight Club.
And I'm like, it's just like
Here
like
y'all go talk
logging
about
on.
Fight Club.
It's just like logging on and you don't know what Fight Club is, and everybody's like, don't talk about Fight Club. And I'm like, well, now,
Like, okay, what the fuck's Fight
one,
Club?
I need to know what Fight Club is. And the thing
Right.
is that everybody's going to ask that question. If they have 6 posts in a row saying, don't talk about Fight Club,
Well, Fight Club.
every
Okay,
other
well,
post is now going to be like, does anyone know what Fight Club is? Like,
right. Everybody's saying not to talk about Fight Club, but what is Fight Club? You see how that shit don't make sense?
how do I know if I'm
Like-
talking about Fight Club if I don't know what
Exactly.
Fight Club is?
Exactly.
Like,
Exactly.
or I log on and it's people being like, you shouldn't be logging on and like, okay, if I were to log on and be like, everybody needs to stop blowing up posts just because you're mad at them. And that's all I said.
What posts are we talking about? There's like, you know how many people
What
post in
does
a
that
day?
mean? What
Like,
posts are we talking about?
what posts are we talking about?
What, like, when can I post something that I'm angry at? What is, like, when is that it's just a
You have
statement.
to give more context.
Like, it's, that's nothing. It's meaningless. Like
this fake posting you gotta stop.
post about things they don't understand. We have to make our posts assuming that it's a giant game of telephone. Right?
Which most of the time it is anyway.
If it's a giant game of telephone, then what you need is primary sources.
Go directly
want
to the source.
people on the internet to know what a primary source is. If you think that a primary source is going to get deleted, screenshot it before it can be deleted. If you're looking at a primary source and you're like, solid like 30% chance this gets deleted, screenshot the primary post.
Even if it's that 30% chance, because the post
that's a
deletes
lot.
are real. Gotta be quick to dirty delete. We saw that. But you gotta catch it before it gets dirty deleted. Please.
Yeah, and it used to be also that threads, if one person blocked another person, anybody else could still see the original conversation on the thread. But now if one person blocks the other person, all of the conversation is deleted.
Gets deleted, yeah. You can't see anything.
So you can't see anything. So
I think is a good thing.
like, yes and no. It's a good thing. It's also a problem. Because like now the dirty delete is really harsh. Like people can go on and say some real vile shit knowing they're gonna get blocked, and then like no one's gonna find it.
Oh yeah, that's true. Which is why the screenshotting is important.
Exactly. If you're about to get into an internet fight and you know it might get bad, screenshot it so that you have fucking primary sources.
Screenshot directly to the source. Don't go through that backhand whisper down the lane. I don't want to hear that. If you don't have the primary facts, move along.
I don't have anything I can do with that shit. You know? Just please, for the love of God, keep your games of telephone to be, hey, call the original poster.
Literally. Hey, so what's happening? I don't know. I'm piecing it together. Go ask so-and-so. Maybe they're open to talking about it. Maybe they're not. Maybe they're going to make a statement later. Whatever.
Yeah, you're going to log on and see people ask what's going on. So you can either be the type of person who can say, this is what's going on. You're going to see a lot of other rumors about it. But this is what's happening. Here are the sources. Or you can be the type of person who then goes, well, you shouldn't be asking this question if you don't know. Like, that's not gonna go anywhere. That's not gonna go anywhere.
That's not helpful, and I wish people would stop doing that. Like, just either it's the question or just like, you know what, I don't feel comfortable talking about it because I don't have all the information or whatever have you. I would prefer you go directly to the source. Like, don't
that one
stop with that,
Yeah,
please. Just stop.
one
Stop being a dick.
that one makes a lot of sense when people come into your post to ask things. The thing is that people
Yeah.
just post on the timeline. Like, does anyone know what's going on? And there's
Right.
immediately a bunch of rumors on there. And
Mhm.
you can't stop that. Once a misinformation or disinformation campaign has started, you cannot stop it.
You literally just have to wait for it to take its course.
With anything except primary source information. That is the only thing that will stop or that will reduce it. Right? Once somebody is the target of misinformation or disinformation, which is essentially what happened, right? Kay was the target of misinformation. I don't know that the original poster had malicious enough intent for it to be disinformation. I think it was misinformation. Kay became the target of a misinformation campaign. That sort of became a disinformation campaign by people who already hated them.
Waiting on their opportunity to open their mouth.
And the only way you can deal with that is, first of all, mostly to fucking ignore it. But second of all, when there are people who don't know what's happening, you tell them what's actually happening. So that the other people doing the disinformation or misinformation aren't the ones telling them what's happening, because they're gonna make some guesses about what's happening. Somebody needs to have the actual information about what's happening, or somebody needs to go in and say, hey, this situation is a lot more complicated than anyone's going to tell you. And like, this situation wasn't that complicated. This situation was not that complicated.
It wasn't.
Right? And if people wanted to say, you know, I understand the context now and I still think Kay's an anti and like, I'm still blocking them, then like, fine.
Cool. Whatever.
It literally doesn't like matter if they're not harassing them, right? Like we don't need to then go down the argument of like, well, you're wrong for that. Like that's okay. Move on. Focus on the actual, like whatever actual harassment there is.
Exactly.
You know? But like sometimes there are very complicated situations, like what's happened with me before, and like I have gone on to post, or like sometimes with other situations, I have gone on to post and been like, listen, this is actually a very complicated situation with a lot of history that is very relevant to just this platform. You're going to hear a lot of things. Ultimately, like, this is not describable, and it is sort of an interpersonal issue between two individuals. And probably the best thing to do is ignore it, because it's going to like, we're going to move on in 2 days. And like fully, I think you're a little more conservative on this issue than I am. Like, I think I'm a little bit more, I think I get a little less agitated by it. I think I'm a little bit more flexible with it, but like, you know, people are allowed to have varying amounts of how much of this they think is okay and they're willing to tolerate and etc. But like, I really need especially white folks, because I think that a lot of our white queers...
See, I wasn't going to say anything because my God.
A lot of our white queers simply do not understand that getting mad on behalf of a racialized person without their permission and out of context, like, you gotta be careful with that shit, because you are not the one it's gonna come back on.
Exactly.
You getting mad on their behalf, you are not the one it's gonna come back on.
Nope.
It's gonna come back on them. And if they want to get mad about it for themselves, I might not recommend it. Certainly, I have mentored a number of young racialized people, especially young racialized people with darker skin than mine, and I have told them, like, it is your prerogative to escalate this. It will stress you out more. You will get more shit for it. If it is more
Mhm.
important to you to set the story straight or to talk about this thing than it is to get shit and harassment,
Then by all means, do your thing.
that's your prerogative.
Do your thing.
Understand, though, that that is the likely, or that is the possible to likely outcome
Mhm.
of doing this,
Mhm.
right?
And you have to make the conscious choice of whether you're in the mental space to handle all that. Because it sounds nice, but you really have to think about that.
Yeah.
It sounds nice. I know it sounds nice. I get it. But you really, it comes down to like really picking your battles. Like, is this really a battle that you really want to, is this really what you want to do right now?
Yeah.
Really?
And if you are white in the fandom, you have to ask yourself, is this what the other person wants to do right now?
Exactly.
Is this what the most racialized person here wants to do? Not the most impoverished, not the most queer,
Nope.
like the most racialized, the one who is most clearly, openly racialized, like
Mhm.
is are they going to want to handle this right now? Because that's who it's going to come back on. That's what happens in this fandom.
Literally.
It's
And a lot of times y'all don't be thinking. Y'all just be ready to y'all ready to move. Y'all ready to talk. Y'all be so passionate. And I get it because they're your mutuals. I get it.
well, and I get it too because and sometimes it's not even like your friends. Like it is
Right.
like your mutuals or just people who you see as your community members. And like, yeah, I get it too.
Hmm.
I I get real pissed off about a lot of things that happen. And I also and I spend a lot of time in one-on-one conversations undoing misinformation about individuals because that's actually the best way to deal with misinformation is one-on-one
Yep.
conversations, right?
Yep. 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 Yep.
Um,
Yep. Yep.
I got a great mutual, acronym B,
Hmm.
who has a lot of misinformation about them because uh they've made a couple of posts with timing that made it seem like they were subthreading a situation in a way that agreed with uh like some pretty bad opinions,
Yep.
and like they just got immediately blocked from all that
Hmm. Yep.
um
Yep. Yep.
without like
Yep.
any clarification.
Nope. Because people don't ask clarifying questions.
And like I get it when you're blocking a lot of people and you just block from anything, like fine, that's what it is. But
Cool.
like, I've cleared up a lot of I've talked to probably like 10 different people clearing up
Hmm.
that situation,
Yep.
right? And that
Yep. 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 Yep.
frustrates me. And it frustrates me to know that there's a lot of people who like probably have them blocked who like I is not for the reason I think is justifiable. Just
Hmm.
like I see a lot of names who have blocked me, and I know for a fact that they blocked me or they unfollowed me or whatever because
Hmm.
someone made up some rumor about me saying that they lied about something I didn't know existed.
Right. Literally.
Right?
And if
Like,
that's what you want to do with your time, cool.
yeah. And like,
Cool.
that sucks, I guess. But I just doesn't.
We appreciate the passion, and we appreciate the wanting to defend and the wanting to, dissuade people from engaging in harmful racist
I feel
behaviors.
like we're almost talking about this the way that Stray Kids talks about telling us not to get into fan wars.
um yeah, which
Like,
please
it feels
just
very much like
please.
the thank you for loving people so much.
So passionately.
Could you redirect that passion? Cause listen, if you want something to do with that passion, I've got some shit you can do.
Right. I have a laundry list of things
I
you can actually
have
get
a
into.
mutual aid business that I'd like to grow here. If you wanna take some of that rage, and
like
redirect
if you really want to
it,
do something, do
we
something
got
good with it. Like
we
we have a
got
laundry list of things for y'all to do. Don't get me wrong.
just
There's always something
ask.
to do.
Just ask literally anyone. I'm really mad right now, and I don't want to just be mad on the internet. What can I do that'll make me feel better? I'll give you a task.
I'll give you something to do. Please don't worry about that.
Even if it's like, I don't know, here's a Bell Hooks book. Go read it.
Go read it.
Like, listen.
And write a report on it. Tell me what you read.
If you're feeling a way about something on the internet and you're going, I'm not sure if talking about the way, if just like yelling about this is actually the most productive thing, but like, God, I feel like I need to do something. We can give you something to do.
We will give you something to do. Don't worry.
I've got so many things you can do.
But y'all, some of y'all really need to redirect that energy, and you really need to not just be angry on the internet all the time.
You know what? This is something I really appreciate Jen for. Because Jen gets really angry, but like has these like is so patient. Maybe too patient, but like is also very willing to be redirected and like will ask like, is this too much? Like or like people are really reacting in this type of way to this. Am I going about this wrong, or is this the reaction? Like is relatively new to the doing constant activism thing, but is very like good at directing that anger in a way that does not sound angry.
Yep.
And I really appreciate, and like talking to insufferable white people. Like Jen does so much talking to insufferable white people and is pretty damn good at it.
Somebody's got to do it.
And like, I'm like, this is what I need the white people around here to be doing, is being Jen. And like, yeah, every now and then I'll be like, you could probably not go this far.
Yeah,
right?
Like, you know, it's okay.
She's new. And I get it. Like, a lot of these people are new to this.
Yeah.
And they're new to being in spaces with racialized people, right? They're used to the idea that, like, the most queer person is going to get the backlash, right? Like, that's a lot of the spaces that they're in are more white queer spaces that has a focus on the fact that the most queer person is going to get the backlash, right?
Yes.
A lot of these folks, they're just not used to being in spaces where the racial bias is so under the surface but consistent.
Yep.
Have you
and
ever
ultimately is the basis for like a lot of the queer
and
a lot of the queer concerns too, or the queer issues being spoken about as well.
Well, as I've told you, like, so many of our basic issues are misogyny or racism.
Yep.
Like, at their core, a lot of our issues are misogyny or racism. Even half the homophobia, most of the transphobia, like, somewhere.
Which all of that are just underneath white supremacy.
Yeah, right? Like, but also, if it's a different tangent to talk about how white people talk about white supremacy and disengaging from whiteness, but like, yeah, have you ever worked in DEI?
Yes. Briefly.
I'm so sorry.
Briefly.
As you know, DEI is a lot of working with people who are in DEI because they are passionate about their marginalization and absolutely clueless about the actual intersectionality of things and the positionality of things. And as you maybe know, DEI, especially DEI that rolls up underneath HR, but DEI in general is one of the most racist parts of the organization almost universally. Like, very impressively so. I am astounded by it.
It gets crazy on the creek.
This is one of my favorite stories of something I experienced in DEI. Now, this woman ended up getting fired for racism. This woman was the head of our DEI organization. So, and you have to understand, she came in being like, why do I care so much about DEI? Do you know what's coming? Do you know what's coming?
Let me feign.
Okay. Shows a picture of her black husband and 2 black children.
This is why there are non-crude ways to say this.
Good luck.
Just because you like to horizontal tango with black people does not mean you are in any form or fashion an ally to said black people. The I have black friends does not mean you cannot be racist, prejudiced, bigoted even. It does not mean just because you like to intermix and intermingle does not mean.
During the Black Lives Matter protests, she said that we in the organization need to be more MLK and less Malcolm X. And all of us in the meeting just sat there. One of my favorite stories, because this was possibly the most awkward thing I've ever experienced in a meeting. My real name is quite, quote unquote, ethnic, as it were. My first name, people like to guess at where it's from. Sometimes they guess like it's French. That sometimes just like how depending on the time of year and the lighting and the person.
Right.
Middle Eastern people will be like, are you Middle Eastern? And I'll be like, not quite, but I understand what you're getting at.
Exactly. Like, you know what I mean?
Indian people might be like, are you kind of Indian? I'm like, kind of Indian is kind of correct.
Sure.
Every now and then, commonly white people think I'm exotic white, Mediterranean, Greek. But that's just like first name. Last name, very, very clearly, like very Pakistani, right? Like aggressively. We're sitting in a Zoom meeting, and I was intermittently on like medical leave for a while, and I came back and I had looked at our updated like values and goals that clearly a bunch of white people wrote because they just like did whoever was able to be at the offsite. So the packet says that their goal is to increase the pipeline of women and ethnicities. And I was like, I've got a lot of issues. I've got issues.
What is that supposed to mean? Like,
starting with increase the pipeline. That's a weird like why are we caring more about the pipeline and less about our like hiring and firing processes? Like whatever.
Yeah,
Second of all, women and ethnicities immediately posits that women by standard are white.
literally, because
And
then you add the ethnicities.
yeah, and two, we are a company that is like very largely Asian. You're getting really close to calling us ethnics.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I can't tackle all of these. I was like, I'm just going to tackle women and ethnicities. I was like, first of all, saying women and ethnicities posits women
Was
as white, right?
crazy work, by the
So,
way.
like, we need to figure out a way to not do that. But I said it's getting really close to saying ethnics, right?
Mhm.
And she goes, oh, well, I don't know what we like. I mean, I don't really. And I was like, there's a lot of options to what we could change it to. And they're like, well, I don't know that that's really like, that's not what we're saying really. And I was like at the very least, like, listen, I understand that it's like not a thing, but like we could change it to POC
Literally
or
anything
BIPOC,
else.
like literally anything. And she goes, I was like we could change it to like at least even people of color would be better.
Right.
And she goes, well, I'd really prefer to ask, I understand what you're saying. I think that we should ask some of the actual people of color in the room. And I was just like,
I'm sorry, did you
I literally said, I am a person of color. And this was the most awkward 30 seconds of silence that has ever existed in a meeting.
because did you
Because
don't you think the honest view?
there's like 15 people in this meeting. And like I understand I'm on a Zoom call. So like
Right.
I could understand like I don't know, maybe I'm kind of far away, maybe I look super pale today or something. I don't know. I guess, but like my name is very obviously. And I don't know if they're just like, well, maybe you're married to the like I don't know what's up there, but like wild.
Not you thinking I was one of you.
Yeah, and it's just like 30 seconds of silence and she just goes, "Oh. Well, are there any other opinions in the room?" Wild situation. So like I feel like those of us who have worked in DEI have gotten very used to like what happens to the racialized folks or what happens to, and again, like sometimes it's the queerest folks in the room, right? Like
Yes.
it really depends on the makeup of the room.
Yes.
But it's going to be, first of all, what's visible, right? If you have in the room like a very code switched button up black man who's working really hard to like align with the whiteness of the room, and you've got an aggressively queer like Mexicana who's very visibly so in the room.
Yes.
We're probably going to get the backlash on, right, this is like a complex interweave of
Yes.
like power,
one person,
privilege, intersections.
Exactly. The person that's willing to assimilate or is assimilating is not
going to be the main target unless there is nobody else to be a target.
Exactly.
If there's nobody else to be a target, then even the person who's trying to assimilate, right? This is the whole like debate that like W.E.B. Du Bois and Frederick Douglass were in about like respectability politics and like the difference in like the difference in racial academics in like the late 1800s and early 1900s talking
early days.
yeah, like when folks, late 19th, early 20th century,
Mhm.
talking about like, do we play the white man's game or do we not? And there was this big
Mhm.
debate that was like, well, if we assimilate, they will treat us better. And then there was the other side that I think more people tend to align with now in sort of
Yeah.
like millennial, Gen Z, Gen Alpha, right?
Mhm.
Of like,
Like
turns out it
assimilating
doesn't
doesn't
fucking
matter.
matter if you assimilate.
It
Like,
doesn't matter. They still don't like you. They're
yeah,
never gonna like you. They're never gonna pick you.
yeah. I mean,
Sorry.
sometimes eventually they do if they find somebody else to pick on more, right? I mean, I think
Mhm.
about, so like the reason that we say racialized is because people can be unracialized in that they can become considered white, or they can become racialized in that they can become considered not white. So this is the whole thing
Yes.
with like, well, the Irish were slaves too. The Irish were racialized for a while, right?
For a
Like
while.
there
Until they weren't.
until they weren't. Then there were people who were more obviously able to be ruined.
Yeah. Yeah. They were
The
um
options expanded.
the options expanded.
The
Yes.
options expanded.
Mhm. Mhm.
Um and it's obviously more complex than that on like how people
Yes.
become racialized or
Mhm.
but like it is not through aligning purely with whiteness that you become unracialized. It's far more complex than that.
Yeah. You got to sell you got to sell that soul. You have to abandon your humanity at its core, I think. And even then, tokens get spent. And we all know this. We all know this. When you are no longer convenient, off to the wayside with you.
Okay, so what's our moral of the story? We've been talking for so long and we are very off course from talking about stay at this point. We're talking about
We are
academia. Um
um moral of the story. Sometimes y'all do not need to blow up things that were not already getting a lot of attention. Some things are better off just falling into the ether and not even wasting the passion on specifically, but instead directing that passion to being like, okay, the baseline, in this case, racism, is not okay, is a recurring theme. You can disagree, but you don't have to be racist about it. Like, it's fine. It's fine to have topics like that, but sometimes you do not have to bring attention to a post or a person who is either saying something in bad taste or in bad faith or is just an asshole. And sometimes you just gotta let assholes be assholes. Just they're gonna be here. It's fine. It's fine.
yeah, I think my takeaway is, so if we look at this from a restorative justice lens, right? And we say again that like restorative justice, like sometimes the perpetrator of the harm is not going to
Mhm.
engage in restorative justice, and that is a little bit required, but it's not. There are still elements that we can pull out, right?
Yes.
And one of those elements is when you are looking at something that you can tell is going to harm somebody else. Ask yourself, like, my next action,
Hmm.
who might be hurt? Who might be helped?
Hmm.
Is this worth this? And if the answer is I don't know, right? Identify who might be hurt. If you don't know who might be hurt, then this just made you angry for some reason and you probably need to step back. But like
Probably done back that.
if you're one of the people who this harmed, if you're within the group, not just like it made you feel away, but like it actually caused you harm, um,
Right.
then that's a different thing. But like if you're trying to balance, right, ask yourself who might this hurt for me to give it visibility to? And then go ask them, is it worth it to you who this might help?
Mm-hmm.
And who does this help? The most important people or the people who it might hurt, right? Like your action of does my next step help
Mm-hmm.
the people who might be hurt?
Mm-hmm.
Can I define in what way it's going to help them? Because if just
Yep.
I emotionally go, of course it's going to help them to defend them. No, you define it. Define how that defense is going to help them. Because maybe it will. And maybe your answer is, well, I just think it will, but I'm not sure. Go ask them. Go ask them. Go ask them. Go ask them. Go ask them what they want.
Please.
And then your next steps need to be approachable from the outside if you're doing it on the public internet. If you're on the public internet's going to see it. You need to accept that the public internet's going to see it and going to act like they see it.
Because it's the public internet.
You can't just go on the public internet and say, I'm going to say something, but act like you didn't see me say it. Right?
And pretend the public is not going to say anything about it.
Yeah. So treat it like it's a game of telephone and you don't know how many people are involved.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Who does this hurt? Who does this help? And who does this hurt and help if it's a game of telephone where I don't know how many people are involved?
Exactly.
Who does this hurt? Who does that help? Is my next step giving enough context to be helpful?
Pretty much.
I think that's the summary. Wow, we really just summarized over 2 hours. In like 10 minutes. That's fine. Listen.
It's fine. That's okay.
That's okay. What's your 143?
Oh boy. Oh boy. Oof. Stay informed. Stay vigilant. Stay informed, stay vigilant, and at this point in time, stay sane. Please stay sane.
I think my 143, it's going to be about the fact that we just bitched about our own community and our own friends. But I mostly trust that community and those friends to like take it pretty well. So that's what I'm going to base my 143 around. Stay questioning. Stay passionate.
Yes.
Stay focused. And folks, stay bitching.
Always.